Okay, so I'm only going to do a couple examples. I mean, this is just more of the same as these other videos from this section. You're just getting familiarized with these formulas that show up in trig problems. So here's the formulas for product to sum. And then I did include this. These are part of your identities because we're going to use that here in a second. You're just matching these up with the correct one of these formulas and simplifying, plugging things in, then simplifying, I guess. So the first thing I'm going to do is rewrite it so that the 4 is kind of separated. None of these formulas have anything multiplied out front. So, I'm just rewriting that so that you know that this 4 is separate from this part. And so, we have sine, sine, cosine, cosine, sine, cosine. So then we're looking at this third formula, and I'm just going to plug that in. So I'm going to carry the 4 with me so I don't forget about it. So then it's going to be 1/2 according to the formula. Sine of pi over 3 plus 5 pi over 6 plus sine of pi over 3 minus 5 pi over 6. And, now you're just simplifying them. So 4 times 1/2 is going to be 2. I'll write this out so that you can see everything, right? We need common denominators. So then that's going to be 2 pi over 6 plus 5 pi over 6. And so then we're going to have 2 times sine of 7 pi over 6 plus sine of negative 3 pi over 6. And this is where the reason I brought in that other picture, right? We're going to use, we have this sign of a negative, so we're going to use this identity, and so then I'm going to rewrite it as two times sine of 7 pi over 6 minus now sine of, right, 3 over 6 is 1/2. All right, so here's your sum to product formulas. And I did include the even odd identities again because we're going to have to use that. You're just picking the right one and plugging it in, so ideally you have these things memorized. But at least make sure you're familiar with them. And, we have a sine plus a sine, so we got to use this first one, and then we're just plugging it in. So we have 2 times sine, and that's x plus 5x over 2 times cosine of x minus 5x over 2. And so then we get 2 times the sine, right, 5x plus x is 6x divided by 2, so 3x. And then cosine of x minus 5x is negative 4x divided by 2, so negative 2x. And then I'm just going to use this identity here, okay? And we'll be able to rewrite this as 2 sine of 3x cosine of 2x. So please ask if you got any questions, right? You're just plugging things in, really.